with Problems. Yeah, that was No Face and them, but down with they were all down with that the Afro. They were all part of that Hollis Queens thing.
Oh, word.
And they had that record. That was like Little Kim before Little Kim, but it was like not only sexual stuff, but it was like they were robbing, shooting, stabbing. They killed their boy. Yo, it was crazy, and they couldn't. Like they need no metronome. Like they're rhyming way off beat. It's like it's so bad that you gotta have it.
Sounds amazing.
BWP, the album cuts. It's all about BWP album cuts, man. Kotex, great song.
We got him started. He loves these records. So, like we said, it's been way more than a minute.
Yeah.
Especially since you were promoting a hip hop record.
Yeah. 5 years. Yeah.
It's been 5 years.
Uh-huh.
What's been going on between the last record and this one record? What happened?
Man.
What happened to J-Zone?
What happened to J-Zone? J-Zone got killed by the Real World. Real World 2, J-Zone 0. So, game over. So, I basically...
You got stuck in
I got
life.
the code to fight Tyson and got knocked out. So I so basically I was... trying to get a job, and that didn't work out too well.
Okay.
I left music. I was disgruntled. I got a lot of my albums destroyed because they didn't sell.
Wow.
And I went through that whole thing. You go through bitterness and stuff, and you get mad. So I kind of lost my passion for music. So for like a good 3 years, I had my equipment boxed up, and I didn't make nothing. And I was just working like 80 hours a week. I was working like 4 jobs, and then I decided to do the book. So I was doing that to finance the book, and then I just snapped. Like, I wasn't moving up, and I was like, damn, they talk about how unstable it is. They always say, oh, stop rapping and get a job. But then I was like, man, I got a job. I got to start rapping, man. Because I was like, yo, I'm working 80 hours a week. I ain't moving up. I ain't making no money. The person next to me, is making... I got benefits and 401k, and there's no room for me to advance. I'm like, man, I need to start rapping to survive. Like, it's the other way around.
And were you happy at work, or were you miserable as well?
I hated it. I mean, there was some good people there, but the 9 to 5 thing, man, I aged about 50 years trying to do it. And I was working way out in Suffolk County. So, I mean, my life was just put on hold. When the book came out, it gave, like, renewed interest in my music, but I still didn't have the passion to make music. Like, I just lost it. Like, I can't really explain it. It's like it's almost like a marriage. It's
like it happens if you're not feeling it.
I can't really go down there and do it because it's my job. It's like you got to have some passion, or it's not going to be good. So I started playing the drums just for fun, just to get some music in my life. I taught myself to play. I started taking lessons, and then after playing for about a year, taking it serious, I started trying to figure out. I was like, what if I was making beats and using this? So I started making tracks, and it was a little more up-tempo than my other stuff, a little faster, a little more breakbeat driven, and changed. So I mean, I was gonna do some instrumental stuff, but then all the stuff I was going through in my life, like Facebook, you see the wedding photos, the baby photos. I got a promotion at the, and you're kind of like, yo, I'm like a overgrown kid, man. Like I still listen to Tweety Bird, Loke, and Big Timers, and Tim Dog.
Yeah, I heard of that on one of your new records.
Yeah, but and I'm like, man, I had a Gumby haircut last year. I just felt like getting it. I got that, and people are like, yo, you ever gonna grow up? And I was like, well, it's hard to grow up when you're hip hop. Like, you can handle your bills and your responsibilities, but you have people who are in the quote unquote real world that look at you as an overgrown kid just because. It's almost like you got to give up what you love to be an adult.
Yeah.
So when you talk to people our age about hip hop, I remember Low End Theory, but it's like it's not cool to keep listening to new hip hop.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, the stuff that's made for us isn't on the radio. It's not on the block. You kind of got to dig for it. But it's like as you get older, you're like, well, I don't have time to dig for it, so I'm going to listen to Midnight Marauders for the rest of my life. So then you kind of start feeling like, and I was like that too, and I was like, yo, but I'm part of the problem. Like, there's people still doing it, trying to make good stuff, and I was like, all the stuff I was going through, it was like midlife crisis really for a hip hop head, because hip hop's so young. Your midlife crisis is 30 at hip hop. So I had a lot to talk about, and some of the stuff from the book, I was like, yeah, this would make a good song if I made it a song. So the ideas just started flowing. It happened by accident, man. Like it just happened. I made the album in 4 months. Like it just flowed, and it happened, and now I'm in a block again. It's like the motivation just comes in droves. There's droughts and droves. Like it comes, and then it goes.
Are you gonna tour the album? You trying to tour it, or?
I'd like to do some shows. Like it's obviously it's hard for me to imagine myself back out there because I closed that chapter. And obviously, when you go on the road, they're gonna say,
you were touring heavy.
Yeah, and it was like, yo, they're gonna want me to do my old stuff, and I kind of just want to leave that behind me. But I know that when you do shows, people are gonna want you to do your old stuff. So it's like, I gotta rememorize that stuff. Like I forgot you gotta understand. In 2010, I shut it down. I shut it down. Like the studio was shut. I forgot all the lyrics. Like it was almost like that never even existed. I was working in places where nobody would notice me. I was like basically working on Long Island, coming back to Queens. I wasn't going out because I was working so much. So the J Zone part was gone. Like it was wiped out. Like it just didn't exist. And when I started working on the book, I kind of had to relive some of it to get in the mode of talking about touring, talking about the ups and downs of the business, talking about being in the 90s and them studio sessions. Like I had to start living it again a little bit. So it was like, now I'm just trying to get used to the prospect of doing that. I can't even imagine myself on a stage at this point. I do it DJing all the time, but to be with a mic.
You've been rocking a lot lately.
I've been rocking, but with a mic. But I guess it's one of those things where you get back out there and, if it comes, it comes. So.
Well, we're happy to have you with new music, that's for sure. And let's play this one record from the album.
Which one?
And I want to talk about the production, because I know you did kind of different things this time around.
Which one you gonna play? Instrumental?
Peter Pan?
Peter Pan Syndrome is the title cut.
You wanna talk about it? You wanna intro it?
It's just it's the title cut of the album, and that's the theme of it all. Like just growing old and like what should you or should you be doing? The guilt trip of getting old and not being like your peers and wondering what's it all about. So
man, 36 is not old, bro. That's the crazy thing with hip hop.
That's how they make you feel, though.
Yeah, so, for real.
Yeah.
You tuned into the Squeeze Time Radio Show here at 89.1 FM in New York.
Can't fight the whole world. Don't you know that? We've already lost a lot of privileges. Now, who's the loser?
The loser's the one who don't get up off the floor.
Oh shit, real life snuck up on me. I'm a new eyeglass prescription for being. Spent my 20s rocking shows, Melbourne to Copenhagen, while my peers stood single file for assimilation, and it all just stopped. Now here I am, 36, still living like I'm 22 and loving it. The real world is knocking at the door. In my 30s, treated like a Jehovah's Witness and doing it. Man, f*** this trap career dead, can't hide. Time to get a job, no experience at all in a 9-to-5. Employers talk about what I've been up to since I was 22, making rap records, chicken trying to stay alive. Now an artist pushing 40, it's check to check. But each year my peers relate to me less and less, and then the world keeps spinning. Ain't nobody trying to wait for me. Hold up a call from an employment agency.
Old Maid Entertainment, huh?
Yeah.
What is that?
Music company, made music, wrote a
book. Have you ever had a job, like a real job?
Huh?
Have you even been on a job interview before?
Hell no.
Sorry, I don't think you're a good fit for the workforce.
Yo, it's like throughout my 30s, I was in a fucking coma, man. I should've learned a bartender, became a sperm donor. Never did like cops, but I could suck it up and be one. Put in my 20 years, get this pension and just be done. Oops, the doors done closed on that. What else could a brother do to close this gap? Electrician or plumber, maybe drive a Mr. Softy truck. Word, cause then you could just work in the store. I even tried to be a teacher. Who the fuck was I fooling? I just wanted summers off, and God never liked school. The medical field is booming. Word, that's the best one yet. So what did I do? I went and bought a drum set. So all my peers get promoted, get married, get grown. I'm home doing paradiddles in my basement to a metronome. The odds of me starting this late and becoming the next buddy rich about 1 in 166. Every day, look at my peers, address my fears to get the fuck off the page. Probably end up sticking women half my age. That's a thought. Cause yo, 40-year-old men in the club don't get no love.
Yeah, how old?
30.
And you ain't got no kids?
Nah, I ain't got.
Where's your 401k?
Huh?
Oh, red flag. When you plan to grow up?
I'm working on
Anytime
it.
soon?
I'm working on it.
No more grown ass men living like little boys.
I hear windows of opportunities start closing when you take too long to figure out where your life's going. And I'm stuck between making irreversible decisions and wanting to kick it to 21-year-old women. Talk to chicks in their 20s, they label you a creep, but I'm a man. It's bad. I can't help it, it's disgusting. I know I'm 36, I should be focused on marriage and building up a trust. And you're black at this age with no kids, chicks to smirk. They either think you're gay or your bitch don't work. Stuff the nail down a juicer cause I heard it makes you look young. But what good's avoiding wrinkles when your money changed? And the BA in the arts ain't practical. I try to work at Starbucks, but that's where everybody with a master's go. And me enjoying life is just me, avoiding the inevitable. A lifestyle that's credible. I take care of my grandmas, but living with her has a stigma. Why? Tell a woman that
Date's over.
then I hop on Facebook and watch my peers' view change. The kids are all in first grade and they start to look at you strange. But if I had an interest in a family and grad school, cool, but I don't. Gotta swipe, hit accept and pay the cost. Face the fact, my life ain't like everyone else's. Or maybe I'm just selfish and need to grow up and mature. Get a real job, a wife and a kid before time closed the door. But the writings on the wall legible and plain to see. Maybe all this growing up, this shit just ain't for me.
What's the plan B?
I ain't got one. They tell me I'ma end up hooked up or swallowing a shotgun, leaving my loved ones disappointed. Yeah, I know the real world exists. I just refuse to join it. Join it. Join it.
I just lost me some dynamite. Come on, boy.
You're tuned in to the Squeeze Time Radio Show on 89.1 FM in New York City. You can check it out via the internet, WNYU.org, or ustream.tv/channel/halftime WNYU. How about that, Silent One? How about that? Memorized it finally. We have Jay Zone in the building.
That's what I am.
How you doing, sir?
I'm cool, man.
I'm loving the record.
Thank you, sir.
I'm loving the fact that you're playing drums.
Yeah, man.
I've seen a video of you playing the drums.
Yeah.
Talking about the production behind the album and stuff like that.
Yeah, 4 tracks and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
Would you like to talk about it here with the listeners?
You mean the analog part?
Yeah, please.
I track most of the music on this album with actual cassette 4 tracks to try to get that sound, because I got Pro Tools 6.2, which came out about 10 years ago, and I didn't want to upgrade because they say you got to upgrade your computer. It was like $3,000 to get the whole thing.
You have to upgrade your computer like every other week, man.
No, I ain't with that. So I said, I wanted to use plugins, right? And they were like, you got to have Pro Tools this or higher, and this. Oh, and I was like, nah, man, I'm going to hit up Craigslist. These drums, you run them through a tape deck. You get that old breakbeat sound. So I was like, I'm gonna track my music out on there and then just bounce it into Pro Tools. So I started, doing stuff and playing it for people that are like, is that a sample? I'm like, nah, man, that's me. So it's like, it's the cheap man's way around it. And it's like being I've been in music for so long, I remember 4 tracks. A lot of younger producers probably never used them, and a lot of producers that are older would laugh at it. Yeah. But all these analog plugins, like, I ain't with that, man. I just went and got Betsy and Diana, my 2 girlfriends,
I saw them.
Yeah, my 2 ladies. And, I actually used real tapes, and then, I bounced the stuff into Pro Tools, and I just said, if I dumb down my equipment, I want to see what it brings out of me as a producer. I just think that technology has taken over production, because it's like you have all the capability to do stuff with the gear, but you don't use it.
It makes people lazy.
It makes people lazy, and it was like, if your machine is limited, you got to start using brain power, and that's how you get your style. Like, look at somebody like Primo. When people were getting busted for samples, he learned how to chop in a way.
More intricate.
Yeah, and he invented a new chopping style, whereas Dre went the other route. He started replaying stuff. So, like, these limitations that sometimes I force limitations on myself. I was like, let me dumb down the equipment and see how I react. So you have to experiment, and it's like you got to get the fly new gear, the new plug-in, the HD, this, that. Like, all the greatest records were made with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
So nothing. Yeah. How did you enjoy the music making experience doing that? Like, did you enjoy it more?
No, I loved it because it was like you get a new machine, and every tape machine is different. So every time I got a new one, I was like, I wonder what the drums are gonna sound like on this. Or, if I had a sample that was like an '80s record, it was kind of clean, I would run it through it. Because I remember how gritty Operation Doomsday sounded, and that was all 80s stuff, like pop stuff.
Yeah.
And it sounded so raw, and that's because he was using tapes.
Yeah.
So, I was just like, why am I going to go the plug-in route? And so it just made me excited again. Like, I felt like in order to come back to music, I had to be excited. So I think learning the drums, going through life stuff, so I had something to talk about.
Yeah.
And just switching out my equipment, it just made it fun because I made like 7, 8 projects with the same frame of mind, same equipment, same studio.
Same formula.
Yeah, same. Yes,
not formula, but you know.
the records had different concepts,
Yeah,
different
yeah,
sounds,
yeah.
but they were done, with most of the same tools and the same mind state. So I said, in order to get motivated again, I gotta start from zero, and so that made it fun. I had a blast doing this record. I had a blast. Yeah.
So the album is available now.
Yeah, it's out now.
CD, vinyl, digital, or just?
It's on iTunes. It's on Amazon. It's on Bandcamp. The CD and the downloads are on Bandcamp. The cassettes, I did 300 and they sold out.
Oh, nice.
So the cassettes are gone. Vinyl's coming out through hhv.de. That's Hip Hop Vinyl in Germany.
Yeah. Shout out
they're doing a little. They're doing a limited edition double vinyl in October. It comes out, I think I want to say it comes out the 22nd.
Nice.
Around then.
The album release party in Berlin?
More people come to that than the one in New York. New York ain't support. I don't do nothing in New York. No, I don't know anybody in New York no more. All my friends, they got forced out.
Yeah. Oh man,
they got priced out, man.
What happened, man?
But
we can do it on Mondays.
Yeah, that's a thought, Yeah. So I mean, I'm just happy to put something out, and I was able to get motivated, and get some stuff out, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. The reviews, I got a review in a lot of good places. Spin, Pitchfork, I think Vice. There's some different places that are showing love to it. XXL, Uncut. It's all the in some big places. So I mean, I'm just happy that people get to hear it, and I kind of like, people complain about the music business, and I see why, but I kind of like how it is now because you don't really need to depend on no label. It's not as cliquish as it was when I was acting, because I was talking to E earlier, like, I had like some boom bap sensibilities, but I also had like a little bit of Big Timers and a little bit of a little Master P, just as much that as I did KMD. I had just as much Hard to Obtain as I did C Murder. All that, I like it all, and it all plays a part. But
it was confusing to a lot of people. I can imagine.
People like the music, but not the content. So now I think a lot of those boundaries are down, man.
Definitely.
I think
and you can hear it. With the younger kids.
Yeah, the younger kids, and
like that.
Not all of it is my cup of tea. But I give a lot of these younger kids credit for just doing their thing.
Yep.
I like a lot of the young artists, their attitude towards music. Even if the music ain't for me, I like their attitude.
I mean, a lot of the music is not going to be for
because it's generational. Hip hop's generational, man. So
they grew up at
different times, different values. So it's like but their approach, I dig that. It's just like I never understood rules. I never understood the rules and the pigeonholing in the music. I always felt, I just feel music is music, and I like it all, and I'm influenced by it all. So, I think now I'm able to reach, all different kinds of markets. I think there's more weirdos just making it known that they're like, yo, I'm a weirdo.
Yeah,
I've always been a weirdo. I've always been the black sheep of the indie rap game. So it's like back then it wasn't cool. You were either boom bap or jiggy. Yeah. Nothing else.
Sure.
So based on my distribution network and my sales,
you were
boom bap.
And
he's a sampling producer, so he's boom bap. But then when they hear the content, I can't get with that. Now you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now you're dealing. Now you can't get shows because the fans of the person you're opening up for don't like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So now every time I did a show, I had to headline. I wasn't big enough to be headlining like that. So the shows got smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. So it was a hard road, but I'm a little bit, I have more faith this time about, the record, and it's got a good response, and I think the playing field is level, and it makes it harder to stand out, but if you can find a niche, it makes it easier to reach people
and do what you love. And
because people who are way more popular than me and way less popular than me are getting burned in the same blogs. So getting the same tweets and stuff, retweets. So I mean,
technology.
It's technology. A lot of days I hate it, but a lot of days, for an artist that does what I do, it can be helpful.
Plug in where they can get the album, where they can get in touch with you.
Well, the album's available on iTunes. It's available on Amazon, Spotify, all that stuff. You can get it from my Bandcamp. That's JZone. That's j-zone.bandcamp.com. You can get the CD there, or the download. It's available in some of the, UGHH, HHV, Fifth Element in Minneapolis carries it. I just sent some out to Amoeba out on the West Coast.
Word up.
But it's you just Google it and you'll find it. And social media is JZone Don't Tweet. That's JZONEDONTTWEET.
That's his Twitter, by the way.
That's my Twitter. And JZone 101 with no dash.
So do you tweet?
Now it worked for me. Like, I used to hate it. I hated all that. I hated everything. I'm an old school. I'm curmudgeon. I don't like texting. I don't like that. But, like Twitter, when my book came out, it worked wonders. Because, Questlove says something, you retweet it. RJD2 says, yeah. So these people say something, and it's like, people are creatures of like, everybody's a follower. Like, they're not going to give you no love until somebody
someone to recommend.
They wait for somebody big to say, yo, there's an elephant in the room. Yeah, and then they acknowledge it. So it's like Twitter is like, yo, see, he said it.
It's hilarious.
So, it's been cool, man. I'm just trying to have fun with it. And it's just, I learned my lesson to be level-headed and don't get too high, don't get too low.
Mm-hmm. Just enjoy yourself. And
yeah.
And these are your tracks too.
Yeah. These are some of the instrumentals from the album. I have some instrumental stuff on there. I have some really. I wanted to. Well, this one isn't a good example, but I did some research and I looked at hip hop in the last 23 years. The average BPM for a song, it's dropped 40 BPMs in 23 years.
Wow.
Because I was going through my Serato playing a gig one time, and I was playing like a 1990 set, and the average tempo was like 114, like Welcome to the Terror, like 113, 114.
112, 114.
And like now it's like 65.
Yeah. But a lot of it is double time and elbow.
But double time would be like 140. Yeah. But, like gradually it went down. When I was active, my average beat was what, 88, 89? In the Wu-Tang Tribe at Renaissance in the mid-90s, that was like 96, 97. After me, it was bounce and so it went down and down. So, but this, like I said, this one is good. But this album, I go all the way up to 116.
And you playing the drums?
I'm playing the drums on that, yeah. So I mean, the average tempo on here is probably about 105. So
nice.
For today's standard, it's pretty fast.
That's pretty fast indeed.
So I wanted to kind of speed it up a little bit. I was talking to Large Pro about it. He was like, "Yo, man, it's mad slow." I was like, "Yo, man, yeah, we gotta speed it up a little bit."
So yeah, we have Tanya Morgan up in the building still. We have Senor Chaos. Mozzie's finally here. And we have Shaka King, director extraordinaire. New film out now. Newlyweds. JZone. Always nice to see you, man.
Likewise.
Last time I seen you was at Mobile Mondays.
Yeah.
And we were talking about being old and new music, and then you wrote an article, or you were working on the article.
Yeah, the Rap Generation Gap.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Yeah.
But and you were one of the last hip hop artists to perform at CBGB's.
Yeah, with CeeLo that night. Yeah.
CeeLo was there.
Breeze was there, and
Logic.
Yeah.
Yep. That was a beautiful night. I was thinking about that on my way here.
That was a classic, man. That was a classic.
All right, people, you're listening to the Squeeze Time Radio Show here on 89.1 FM. We still have another record from the album.
This one is Opposites Attract. My longtime partner Al Sheed that I go way back with.
Where was he, man?
He's got a business too. We all go through it because we're the same age group. But this is the only joint on the album I don't rhyme on. I actually rhyme on all of it, which is odd. And then I just did the beat. I played the drums. Did my little meters kind of a thing at the end for people to sample. I left plenty of open drums for people to sample. Just give me some credit. I don't need no money. Just give me some credit. So this is Al Sheed, Opposites Attract. And big up to Sheed.
So I'm gonna get my man Al Sheed to explain it to him why Opposites Attract. Let's go.
Now if I say it's going down, it means I'm up to no good. If I'm right on your block, you get left in your hood. Go with me don't make sense. You got dollars to waste. I put something in your grill for coming out of your face. To say I'm a real, that's how I don't produce no fake. This shit advance the game by bringing it back to the basics. Face it, labels are straight off the rappers is square. It's easy listening crap, it's hard for me to hear. Y'all Vero, of course, I stay on track with the raw. Say whatever floats your boat for harboring the thought. Nail these umps with handles. Hard store, create a murderous masterpiece. Now display my art of war. Paul, please stay cool if I move with the heat. Cause if the beef get live, that means somebody dead me. Damn, you speaking soft before you was looking hard. Far from religious, but the nine brings you closer to God. Black.
Oh, shit. Hey, yo, I hear that, man.
Y'all didn't hear that though. Cause you know one of the most underrated in the game is still way above your head. And it's ain't just chick. Like 300-pound white women and skinny brothers. Looking like the number 10 standing side by side. Overweight, underweight, interracial couples. Hey, yo, C, give me one more, man. Maybe they'll get it this time around.
They say my sound's underground, but I feel on top of the world when I flip. Cause I make the ends wild, the fact that you can't spit. When they call me a dick, it's some shit they revealing. I put money at your bras, let this to catch feelings. What's the odds of skills that ever be even? Yeah, we both in the game, but I'm in a different league. And I keep taking my time, they keep saying I'm speeding. No need to camouflage your emotions, I know you're feeling fatigued. When I tell them breathe in, it necessitates the fears. I do caution to the wind, now there's tension in the air. Yeah, rightfully so, you think it's wrong for me to get on. Tipped off every time we compare, you get shit on. Your rain on the tops and memory. Rappers is fair weather friends, so guess who came to storm the industry? They talk about this with different beats in the car lot. Yeah, that's a close range, but you copping it as a long shot.
You ain't gotta lie to me, I gotta see you coming at a rent and roll. Right after the video shoot, it's all good. But yo, shit, no matter how much they ballin', they still striking out. And since 1998, J-Zone and Al C is showing you what keeping it trifling is all about. Mazel tov, sucker.